I don't normally agree with what Simon Jordan's got to say, especially around Scottish football, but when he comes out and he says he wants Rangers to win the league over Celtic, I can't help but agree with him. Welcome back to Fog Football. And why has he come out and said this on TALKSPORT? Because Jim White was talking about the great night that they had, him, Clement, Butland and co. And of course it was a good weekend because, for the main reason, that Rangers didn't drop out of top spot because Celtic also got beat. And then him and Simon Jordan went on to talk about how it's good for Scottish football that there's a title fight and all that malarkey at the top of the league. It adds a bit of drama rather than it being a procession at the top of the table. So, yeah. But why? What's the reason? What's the main reason? I'll tell you what the main reason is. It is he finds Brendan Rodgers irritating Simon Jordan. I think a lot of us might find Simon Jordan irritating, but you look at the comments and I think you can see why. I think Rodgers does do a lot of blame deflecting. That's what I like about Clement. I mean, I think Michael Beale talked absolute shite. Gio was kind of quiet and kept to himself, but Clement can kind of be a bit boring, but he's like straight to the point and just hits you with the facts, which I like. But on the other hand, you get Brendan Rodgers, who, yeah, you know what, he called out the decisions at the weekend, but did he acknowledge the fact that he himself got one of the softest penalties you'll ever see? Absolutely not. And I think that's reasons why Simon Jordan doesn't like him. He did go on to mention it's due to also certain things that he did say at Leicester. Big Brendan Rodgers, his Leicester spell, of course, didn't exactly end too well. But this is exactly what he told TalkSport. He says, "I'm rooting for Rangers in Scotland. Brendan irritates me. Some of his behaviour at Leicester irritated me." Which didn't really go into elaborate. He kind of just what he said in interviews and all that stuff. Jim White kind of asked him, but he never really gave a clear cut answer. But yeah, he's rooting for Rangers, Simon Jordan, and that's what you like to see. But of course, could he? But he didn't actually mention the fact that Rodgers had that's been labelled in the media as an uncharacteristic outburst that could land him in some severe hot water with the SFA. So we'll have to wait and see with that. There's no real news about Brendan Rodgers' comments about incompetence and naming John Beaton and all that stuff. So will anything happen? I'm not too sure with Brendan Rodgers. He might get away with it, or it might just disappear into the background, man. It might be completely and utterly forgot about. But of course, if you missed it yesterday, the two appeals, one from Celtic, one for Kelly, has been rejected. Brendan Rodgers, the way he was talking, was as if that appeal would have been sorted, all hunky-dory. But that's pretty much it, guys, in terms of news. There's not really much happening here as we're halfway through the week. We did have a bunch of games last night, which I guess I could talk about. There was no preview or review show because it's just a couple of games midweek, not an insane amount going on. But yeah, I guess we'll give a quick wee recap as there was 5 games. So Dunfermline lost at home to Airdrie. So Dunfermline, who recently they've kind of turned it around in a few other games, but this game Airdrie won. Greenock Morton at home against Dundee United, crucial win for Dundee United away from home. We then had another game in Scottish League 1 with Falkirk winning against Cove Rangers. You could start with the horse. Pie oh my, no, you could start the house on that. Bonnyrigg Rose drew with the Spartans 2 each, and then Stranraer beat Dumbarton 5-0. But anyway, guys, leave your thoughts down below. My throat is aching. I need to go take some Suvers. But Simon Jordan, he's back in Rangers to win the league title.